In this video, I'm going to show you one of the most dangerous openings that exist in chess. One where you can potentially checkmate your opponent in just 8 moves. This video will be divided into 3 parts. In the first part, we'll be studying towards the white's perspective of playing the fried liver attack, beginning with the Italian game. On the other hand, we'll be looking towards black's perspective, how we can defend such attack. And I have such brilliant traps which you can use by chance your opponent tries fried liver against you. And also the third part, the final part, I'll be talking all about the best way to learn these moves. And I'll be putting all these moves in the description, so yeah, you may all check it out in your own analysis. And this is how it begins with the Italian game. Suddenly your opponent develops the knight, generally the 2 knights defense. You play knight to g5 and this is the knight attack, the fried liver attack. Attacking the weakest pawn at chess, which is the f7 pawn. Now this is the weakest pawn because this is only protected by the king. And here you are doing the best job attacking the weak pawn. Ultimately, black has 2 best options. Number 1 is taking d5, attacking the bishop, attacking the center, and number 2, playing bishop to c5, the Traxler attack. Many players have preferred playing the Traxler against beginners, against intermediate level, teaching you how to play the Traxler, how to play the best move with explanation. Anyhow, now here we come to the best ever possible move. That is d5. He got to attack the bishop and the center. Now here you simply got to trade. If your opponent plays the mistake, that is knight take on d5, again what's the best move? Playing knight to f5. I'll be coming to this. Now here, if your opponent is a beginner or even intermediate level, there are chances that he just be greedy and capture the toffee. Now here again, if you accept toffees from strangers, what happens? You get sacrificed the knight. The brilliant move, attacking the queen, attacking the rook, is king take on f7. And bro, eyes would be open. He'll capture it. You'll take out your queen and attack it, attack this knight. Ultimately, king comes here, try to protect the knight. Now what you got to do? That's simple. You got to add extra sauce to the burger, making it even more tastier. Now here, since you are developing your knight, you are over pressurizing the attack. Pro is trying to keep limit, being your gym coach, trying to limit the sugar. All you got to do is castle quietly. Allow your gym coach to spill in the swimming pool. If he goes there, all you got to do is enjoy the dinner. You can simply protect the rook, bro. So yeah, who is winning? You. Well, let us come backward. If your opponent plays c6, that developing, what you got to do is attack the center. Now these moves are not to be memorized. You just counter attack the center because you are focusing on your development. Again, if your opponent captures, then what happened? Chess.com analysis already told it as a blunder before I could tell. Anyhow, so yeah, you just got the fate that this move is blunder. If your opponent does that, what to do? You got to capture it. The brilliant move. Pro got to capture the rook. Then what you'll do? You'll go with knight take. Your opponent can play any moves. Suppose pawn take on it. Okay, we can play rook to d1 and suddenly, yeah, you are attacking the queen. That's a pin. So according to computer analysis, playing x6 is the best move. Yeah. So you can just capture the pawn. At last, if you move away the king or something, then that's a checkmate. Now according to computer analysis, this was the best move. So yeah, you can imagine the condition of black. Anyhow, let us come backward and over here. In this position, your opponent not going to capture, playing the best move, and that is queen f6. Comes the difficult part. You got to play queen to d1, protecting it, adding a defender. If your opponent captures this, then you can say good days are back in your life. Play knight to e4, got to attack the queen. Now it's a great move by chess.com analysis. So yeah, you can definitely trust this trap. Ultimately, if your opponent tries, the best move according to computer analysis is queen g6. Try attacking this. What you got to do is play a3. If he captures rook e1 and touches the pin, at last he will lose the queen. So definitely, who is winning? You are winning. Anyhow, let's come backward, and here, since this is a great move, since the king is dancing at the bar and protecting his own army, well, at most of the cases, the king would be busy dancing at the bar, would not think of his army. So just bring the king backward. What you got to do is capture the knight and then checkmate your opponent like this. Alright, so we come back to our position, and here we discussed about knight take on it. Let us discuss the main line that many players play, and if you are learning the flight lever, you must definitely know that. Knight to a5. As you can see, computer analysis showing it as a best move already. Well, here that's a very simple thinking. You also have two best moves. Number one is bishop b5 check, that most of the players play that. Okay, and you must also play this. The second best move is d3. Idea with d3 is very simple. If you want to trade, you can trade, and like this, you got a stable center. Your position is very well protected. You can continue with your normal development as you develop your Bc6 castle and continue. Well, I'll spend a lot of time at the main line because this is where most of the players experience. Anyhow, bishop b5 check. Now with this, what we are doing is over pressurizing attack at the king. At last, I'm just forcing my opponent to take immediate charge. Now he'll take immediate charge with c6. If we play bishop to d7 by chance, okay. If we do that, you play queen e2. He got to take, you got to take, you got to enjoy the dinner. So enjoy the night pasta from my side. Well, come back. Here, if you got to play c6, now what you got to do? So your opponent got to play c6, like you can see, and at most of the cases, c6 is the best move. So here, you simply got to trade. Again, if the knight take it, then it's like he is hitting an axe on his own leg, because that's a pin, and yeah, disadvantage generally. So the best line is pawn take it, and at last you will play bishop to d3. And that's the best line. What you'll do is you can play c3, bishop c2. Just keep these options as a possibilities in your hand. Well, now the reason behind playing bishop to d3. I mean, you all might be like, why not bishop e2, or why not even bishop a4 or something? Right? Bishop a4, creating pins. But after bishop a4, see what happens is, yeah, exactly. The computer analysis showing it as a mistake. So you already got a hint that you don't need to play this. Well, now for the explanation. Well, the reason is many players play this so that they could attack actively here. So your opponent gets enough time to attack your pieces. Look, great move. Enough time to attack your pieces, and at last, sorry, not that. At last, he can just take advantage and grab the center. Even if you try this, he can play queen to d4, queen c7. Okay, so let us come to the point. It's like you just know you cannot play this. That's a mistake. If you play bishop to e2, well, if you play bishop e2 now, again, you all may say that it is blocking bishop g4 and all, but still bishop e2 is not preferred. Instead, bishop d3 is preferred with the plan of don't play c3 immediately. First play queen e2, create pin, then play c3, bishop c2, and then d4. Now these are all long-term planning, which you don't require. Why? Because you already control the most, most important diagonal. By chance he'll castle, he's short castle. Since he cannot long castle, you can look at his position. In the upcoming moves, he'll short castle. If he short castle, you already have a sniper to snipe his chest. So yeah, okay. Let us look at some long-term planning here. Since many of you would have some doubt, let us continue. x6, you play knight to e4. If you trade, we trade, got to attack. So you just have faith in yourself, have some confidence, and this is computer analysis telling you that this is the best move. So you got to trust the computer analysis, you got to trust me, you got to trust your parents and your chess coaches. Anyhow, we come back again over here. Another variation. P5 is one of the variations. I mean, since this video is regarding completing each and every possible strong variations that many players do, it's my duty to just explain you about these moves. Anyhow, P5 is attacking here. What you got to do is simply take the bishop back to F1. Again, I'm repeating. If you capture it, queen got to take the pawn. That's a great move. It is attacking here. It is protecting this. And at last, he can simply play maybe bishop b7. So it's better don't capture the pawn. Don't be greedy. If you capture candies from strangers, what happens? Cavities. So here is better. You just take the bishop backward. Well, playing bishop d3 will lead to knight take. Playing bishop e2 again will lead to knight take. So bishop f1. Now again, the logic is knight take, right? Well, now if the knight will take, you can play queen h5, do some time pass. You play g6, you play queen f3, attack it. Okay. Yeah, the great moves you can see. And if you play some moves like knight f6, you play bishop b5 and it's your chance to come into action. So that's why we play bishop f1. Just as a tempting move, allowing your opponent to just capture. If he becomes greedy, you got to win the game. Otherwise, if you just protect the knight. Now, suppose he play knight to d4, protecting it. Don't worry. Play c3, attack. The knight can come here. And at last, you are winning this game. Now, after this variation, we looked about b5 and comes knight to d4. Okay, this is the Fritz variation. Okay, this is also the popular variation. Many intermediate level players, they play this. The reason is behind, capturing outpost. You can play c3. That's completely depending on what you want to do. Okay, let me tell you about c3. After c3, he will play b5. There are a lot of chances he will play b5. Okay, you got to take the bishop back. Play bishop d3, bishop f5. Exactly. And at last, you'll have to trade. If you will not trade, knight check. So it's better you just take the bishop backward here. If you play bishop here or here, knight can take. So it's better bishop f1. At last, knight will take. You can capture the knight and simply capture this pawn in the very next. At last, he has to move the king according to computer analysis. He loses castling ability. You can castle, protect your position, and who is winning? It's you. Well, let's come backward. And these were the variations regarding knight to d4. All these variations covered. Well, now we come to the Traxler-Counter Attack. Traxler-Counter Attack, again, many players, they play this. If you go with knight take on f7, that's looking like a book move, but it's advised for you, please don't go with knight take on f7. Instead, it's better you just go with bishop take f7. The king will move. You will play bishop c4. You can see the pawn cloud happening and you just quietly got to develop your pieces like this. Well, now it comes regarding black. How to counter attack the fried river as black. Anyhow, here we got to attack the center. After he take it, what you could do here is play knight f5 and attack it. Ultimately, the best move is bishop b5 check. You'll play c6. If he take, you take this back and attack the bishop. Ultimately, according to the computer analysis, and if your opponent is an intermediate or advanced level, there are chances he played bishop d3. Well, please do not misunderstand this bishop. This bishop is already very powerful. Okay, so what you got to do is play knight to d5. Reason is queen attacking on the knight. Ultimately, he is forced to take knight back. Now he is attacking this. What you will do? He will also copy. He will develop your pieces. Till time he will offer trades, he will develop his pieces. You will continue with castling. Again, if your opponent is greedy and capture, definitely you will take, and guess what? The center is here. Suppose he castle, then you can go with some aggressive attacks. Okay, the most important moment you were waiting for. Anyhow, if your opponent is a beginner or intermediate, there are chances that he play knight take on f7. This is looking like a good move, but actually it's not. You will sacrifice your bishop. Take on f2. Check. This is one of the best moves in chess history. If you just capture, you got to go with knight take on e4. Check. The king moves here. You play queen h4. Okay, now in this position, he play rook to f1. Okay, queen f1. Rook is protecting and rook is, blocking this. Now against this, you will still play rook f8 and take some advantage. Okay, if you try d3, try attacking, you will simply move the knight backward, look forward some attacks. At last, he plays some developing moves. Then you go with d5. Again, disconnect the diagonal. That's the most important part. Here instead, you just capture it and then look for some checks. Anyhow, this is how you can take advantage in variation if your opponent captured it. What if he ignores, right? You play queen e7. He captures the rook. You got to attack the center. If the pawn take it, you play knight to d4. Again, after this variation, if he makes some moves like king take on the bishop, so check, king e1, queen f6, looking for the wonderful checkmate. So rook f1, queen check, and at last you can imagine the condition of white. Alright, so if your opponent moves the king to e2, again that's a mistake from the computer analysis. Knight to d4 check, the king moves, you play queen e7, and yeah, the position is very bad. If you just capture this, there is mating just 4 moves. Comment the answer in the chat. Anyhow, this is a very easy win for you. Suppose your opponent just take it. You go with knight take e4 check, king moves, you play queen, look for checkmate, queen here, and that's the same story. You are just dominating in all terms. So yeah, you may just take advantage and win the game. Anyhow, now against this knight f6, first of all, the very easy way of counter attacking the right lever, and the very fair way that you should definitely play is knight take on e4. If knight take on e4, you can go with e5 and attack here. Now again, this trap will work only against beginners or some intermediate level players, and please do not try this in front of advanced level, since they know what to play. They'll just go with bishop take on f7. They'll not even play knight take, because knight take, then queen will come to h4, knight take on it, queen take on, that's a checkmate. Okay, so definitely if he play g3, knight take g3, you are attacking here, so you take, and at last you can give. Suppose the king moves, queen is protecting it, he will play bishop c5, d4, bishop take, and at last he got to sacrifice the queen. Otherwise, if he moves somewhere, then yeah, mate in just one move coming, and that's a checkmate. Try only against beginners or some intermediate level players, not against advanced. They'll defeat you. Okay, so it's advised that you don't play this against advanced level. But yeah, just for your knowledge, it's important. Okay, so this is how you can play the Traxler. I explained to you each and every single reasoning, logical reasons behind each and every move, tactic, and many things very well. So if you enjoyed the lesson on pride lever, then do like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are the new one. And yeah, do comment how the video was. Any kind of query you have, doubts you have, you can immediately ask me in the comments. I'll definitely answer your comments. And yeah, if you have any content from me, do suggest in the comment. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.